Alright, welcome back everybody. It is the next day. We're going to dive back into this game. Before we do that, I'll ask you to take a look at the version number down bottom right. You'll see it's updated a bit. I did change a couple of things. The first was, if you remember when we were casting teleport yesterday, when we pointed our cursor where we wanted to teleport, it traced, here's the walking path you would take to get there. But of course you're not going to walk there. You're going to instantly be there, so it made no sense. So I've modified the code to anytime you cast a spell that has you select a square where you want it to happen, it shouldn't show the path anymore because you're not actually walking there, you're just selecting a square. We'll find out if that worked. We can't test it with teleport right now, unfortunately, because we don't have that spell, but we do have the Wall of Fire, so if we get a chance to cast another Wall of Fire, and it works, our wand works, then we'll get a chance to test it and see if it's working or not. If not, I made a backup of this save. I will reload it later and when we're done this game and just test it and test it and test it until I can see if it worked. The other thing I changed was what? Oh yeah, a small bug. You remember that beanstalk we tried to climb yesterday? Beanstalks come in 3 different flavors. There are thick beanstalks, which are most common in the early levels. Unfortunately, we didn't get a thick beanstalk. We got a beanstalk, which is a little harder to climb. And there are thin beanstalks. Why am I doing this while I'm not loading? Why didn't I learn my lesson yesterday? There we go. There are thin beanstalks that are hardest to climb. We got a standard beanstalk, so medium hardness to climb. But when we went to climb it, it said, hey, do you want to climb the thin beanstalk? So it gave us the wrong text output. I think it functioned as the beanstalk should have. It just gave us the wrong output. So we'll just wait a minute for this to load. Occasionally when it's loading, at least on my computer, the screen sort of freezes. It doesn't fill the bar as it goes. I don't know why that is. Most of the time it works. It might be because I'm recording it. I'm not sure. Oi, give me one moment. There we go. Alright. You'll be pleased to know, by the way, my watering of my cat went perfectly well yesterday. Getting the subcutaneous fluids into her, I was very, very nervous about it. I'm sure that showed in my voice when I was talking about it yesterday. Couldn't have gone smoother. She was perfectly happy with it, didn't flinch at all. I just didn't know what was going to happen. We found a new spellbook, guys. We got Create Pit. Activate this to learn the contained spell, destroying the spellbook. Hey, this might let us select a square. We can probably test it here. Create Pit. Low-powered geomancy. It's 5 spell points to cast. It's a cantrip. We'll talk about that in a second. This spell creates a wide open pit in an adjacent empty space with damage based on the dungeon level. Cantrips don't count toward your known spell count. Let's learn that. And we'll take a look at it over here. And you'll see in here it says this is a cantrip. I'll also point out, it says we have 5 out of 7 spells, but we have 6. Yeah, cantrips don't count towards this limit. So they're like free spells you can learn because they're not particularly useful, but they can be useful in rare circumstances, so they're kind of cheap. Also very low casting cost of 5 spell points. Oops, I didn't mean to do it. Fuck. Alright, well, let's do it then. Let's find out. Hey, look at that! It is not doing the path. Can I just press OK and have it abort without costing me? I don't know. Yeah, it didn't cost me. Here we go, we tested it. So this will create a pit, a very wide pit beside you. You'd use it if you're being chased by something and you don't want it following you. You could put a pit behind you, so it say here, and it wouldn't be able to cross, so they'd probably come around here. So it's just a deterrent. And if they do fall in the pit and they die, you get the experience because you created the pit. What do we got here? Another revenant rat. We already have tsunami fever, right? Yeah, now's the time to face him. Okay, we talked about condition of items, I think. Yeah, we talked about the fact that they can't be repaired past a certain condition. Again, one moment, I apologize, early morning. Yeah, the weapons and armor all have conditions. As you go through combat, the condition will lower. It has a chance to lower every single combat round by 1%. There's also a chance if you hit with a weapon, there's a second chance it might lower an extra %, or if you get hit while wearing armor, there's a second chance it might lower 1 extra %. But the turn shoes have finally reached their limit. Let's hit OK. And let's look over here, and you can see they are now grayed out, and we're not wearing them. Our defense is still only 10, because we have this 4 and this 6. So you'll have a little bit easier time hitting us now. Again, it makes sense to kill him now, because something else broke. I didn't see what it was. Did you see what that was? Oh, the cloth arm wrapping also hit 0%. So we're down to the woolen trousers. Nonetheless, I'm going to keep going here for a moment in the hopes that... let me turn this up in my ears a little bit. Oh, here comes something. Here comes a new monster, too. We'll talk about it when we're done with the Revenant Rat. I hope he doesn't hurt us too bad, but we really want to get rid of him fast. Getting kind of dicey, to be honest. You might wonder why. Hey, why don't you use the wall of fire? It wouldn't do us any good. The wand of firewall, rather, because these guys are not automatons. They would just walk around the wall, or we could put one here and one here, and then they might go through it eventually, unless there's another way around to get to us, or of course then we'd be blocked if we need to come back through here. So it's not as useful as it might seem on the surface. It's useful against automatons, and a little bit useful against other things. Certainly for deterring chasing, but our pit can do that just as well. He's down to 4. This guy's a brand new monster in this version of Wereleech. Like I said, we'll look at him in a minute. If we're going to die, we'll look at him, or if fuck, here comes the second one. Hit the Thug. The Thug will be a little easier for us to kill, right? Because we do have Assassination. You can see his type of person. His type of monster is person. We'd have a really easy time killing him if we weren't diseased right now. But, again, we want to kill this guy before we lose our... before we lose our disease of tsunami fever, or else we run the risk he'll give it to us again, right? But if we don't get him soon... Let's see if we get hit again. Okay, we're done, obviously. Do we have any health potions or anything? We don't. That was probably kind of silly. Alright, let's look at the Wereleech then, because we may die soon. Oh, I see what's going on there. Okay. Interesting. I didn't realize the final destination goes underneath the monster. Never noticed that before. Like the little O that shows you where you're going to go. The rest of them go over top the monsters. See, maybe not. Maybe they all go behind the monster. Interesting. Just never noticed it. The Wereleech. Brand new monster with this iteration. He'll be up on the 15th, which is tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be up and available by tomorrow night, my time. I'll have to do it after work. You can see he's a low-level monster. He's level 3. You can see the level of the monster, by the way, in the little graphic in the bottom right. You can see it's a level 3 monster, which means he's appropriate for level 3 characters or for dungeon level 3. He only has 3 health. He has a 50% resistance to physical damage, so we'll only do half as much damage. That's even worse, actually, than this guy's physical resistance, because he's very rubbery and such. He does take 50% extra damage from cold if we had a means of doing that. He's slow. He gains a health every time he does damage to us, so he has permanent vampirism. If he hits us for 3 damage, he gains 3 health. That doesn't mean heals 3 health. He could now have 6 health out of 3. So it's just a way to gain health for them. He also has a 5% chance every time he hits us of causing another disease called Lycanthropy, which can be beneficial temporarily as you slowly transform into a monster, but it also can kill you. So we'll talk about that if and when it happens. Let's abandon this cause for now. Let's try and get around him. Not fully. Oh, there's a cleric. Do we have any gold? Okay. We have new and greater problems, guys. We're going to try and go this way. We don't want them hitting the cleric because we really want that cleric to... fuck me. I want to get him away from that cleric. Okay, I've got to move, though. He's only got 1 health left. He could kill us with a single hit, though. Alright, they're away from the cleric. We need to find gold fast. That's Water of Life. Or generate gold. No, that's Water of Life. We need to be healed. We need to find gold, so perhaps we can pay him to heal us, but also so we can pay him to get rid of our tsunami fever. Just find gold. Let's not pick up anything in case it's a trap. Another Wereleech here, guys. You can see he has a swirling yellow thing beneath him. That makes him a spitting Wereleech. That's a missile variant. So he has distance strike, 33%. Other than that, he's normal. He's worth a little more experience. This guy's worth 43. This guy's only worth 32. Son of a bitch, guys. I need gold. I've never needed gold worse in a game. That's poison gas. We don't want to go through that. You can hold your breath 50% of the time, otherwise you get poisoned. Fuck. Here comes a fairy dragon. We're surrounded by monsters, guys, and we're on the verge of death. Come on. So this guy, level 5 monster, a little tougher. He's a worm, another type of monster. He's an insectoid worm, so killing him will piss off Alumis. Actually, this might as well, right? Insectoid person. We have an easy time hitting them. How close are we to leveling up? Not close enough. This guy's flying, you can pass over low obstacles, but 10% chance he causes hallucination when he hits us for 120 turns. While you're hallucinating, you'll see monsters that aren't really there. It gets very confusing as to what's real and what's not. I was trying to avoid everybody and pray to God we don't fall in a pit, and pray to God they don't get the goddamn cleric. We need him. I'm stepping through this because I can't have... Alright, we got an unknown potion, we got gold. Let's go to the cleric, if we can. Let's get him to heal us. Oh, I should have cast Pour on the Charm first, but I don't have time, really. Heal us back to full, sir, for 9 gold pieces. Please note, it wouldn't be 9 gold pieces if you weren't a merchant. That's a really, really good deal. And let's get rid of our diseases for 9. Do we not have enough money? I did, okay. I just was making noise and I couldn't hear it because my volume is low. Alright, we are fully healed, guys. We have no more, whatever the hell that was called. Tsunami Fever. We can hit this guy even easier. We have a 50% chance of hitting him. He only has a 10% chance of hitting us. Our pebble broke, guys. Let's switch over to the Thigh Bone Club. Let's throw on their foot wraps because our turn shoes are gone. Sorry, Loomis, you're gonna have to suck it for a while because I gotta get rid of these things. I can't risk them killing the cleric. Let's get it off the wardrobe there. Cupboard. 2 more damage and it's dead. If it gives us Tsunami Fever again, we know how to cure it as long as nothing kills that guy. 1 more damage. Should we switch to our fists? No. Yes, we should. Right? Yeah, let's switch to the fists. We now only do 1 damage, but that's enough to kill him. Let's put back on our Thigh Bone Club. We could cast Air Shield. I'd rather save it for a blink spell. Maybe not. He is gaining health every time he hits us. Right, he won't get any more distance strikes on us. Again, sorry, Loomis. Negative 63 faith, guys. She's not happy with us at all. Alright, we leveled up. You can see we gained the 2 max health. We got our health restored. We gained 10 attribute points. We gained a skill point. Yay. Let's hit OK. We have a new racial perk as a Mousling. Attack the Undercarriage. Very simple perk. Gives us +8 to hit because we're hitting from a low vantage and they don't expect a stab to the groin, you know. There you go. That's not bad. Let's raise our strength by 1 to get at least the ability to have basic warrior skills, as well as the fact that if we have any, armor or weapons that need 30 strength, we can now wield them. Let's put 4 into health. Get us to mid. We now have medium or advanced, general skills. And we have 4 left, 5 left. Let's put this up to 40. There are spells that cost 40 as opposed to 30. And we're throwing a 1 extra into dexterity to let us hit a little easier. Alright, let me take a look at what that did for us. We can now learn the Woodcutter's War. If we're using axes, there you go. The skill now adds 3 physical damage whenever we hit with any kind of axe. So we're going to want to switch to axes if possible. They'll do 3 extra damage. I'm going to put this too back into traveling because we can now. We can now get general skills up to advanced. You can see right here it tells you your max trainable level. If we go to rogue skills, it's still basic. Mage skills. Rogue skills are basic. Warrior skills are basic because we don't have any of these to 60 in terms of the stat. This one's to advanced because we have 60 in max health. I'm going to put it in traveling. Why not? Now we have 20 inventory slots, guys. So that was a chemical spray trap. Chemical spray traps have actually varied effects. What the chemical does to you is randomly chosen. In this case, it made us nauseous. For 120 turns, we can't fight or cast spells. Let's see what's in this mysterious cupboard. Wall of Fire spellbook. We'll consider learning that. I don't know if we will. We do have the wand already. And we have the create pit spell, which is not too bad. I don't know if we need this spell. We'll consider it. I'll carry it for now. I want to pick up that object over there, but I don't want to face anybody, so I guess we'll go this way. Unknown potion. I'm not going to put all the gold I see here into the temple right now in case we need another healing or curing or that sort of thing. Let's leave the gold in place until the monsters are dead and we've explored the level. And then we'll come back and see what we can do. A booby trap. A pit trap. So there are booby traps that are pit traps, which is kind of a weird thing to say because there are pit traps that you can't see. And you step in the square and you fall in the pit trap. This is a booby trap that looked like an object. We went to pick it up and a pit opened up underneath us. We fell in for 6 damage. Now here's where this shit, my furnace just kicked in and I feel like I'm yelling now. I'll try not to. Here's where this Mousling ability comes into play. When you fall in a pit, you take damage, of course, for impacting the bottom. You can try and leap over pits. We might have seen that earlier. I can't remember. Maybe we did with the in the first level. I think we leapt over a frigid water-filled pit. But when you're stuck in the bottom of a pit, you also have to climb out. Now, while you're inside a pit, you won't keep taking damage from what's in the pit. You know, obviously, you're not going to continually fall into it, nor are you going to burn if it's filled with lava or water or something. That would be too deadly. But you are stuck in it. You can't get out until you climb out. And your odds of climbing out are based on your dexterity. But for us as a Mousling, we automatically climb out. Doesn't have to look. Our Nausea's still with us, guys. We're going to have to figure out where to go in a minute. You know what? I don't even want to go here because that could lure the fairy dragon back in to fight him. 20 turns. Let's just go up here. Let's lure the fairy dragon back over here. So take on the thug. Might leave the fairy dragon alone just because I don't feel like pissing her off further. That was easy peasy. So if we're not fighting the fairy dragon, we got 2 options. We can try and go... well, 3 options. We can try and get past this. Not only is it a pendulum blade like we saw before, this is a fast, heavy pendulum blade. So much harder to get past. And on top of that, does way more damage. I don't think we want to bother trying to get through that. There's probably not a lot over here. Probably dead end somewhere over here. It might go up around, but not likely. Not worth the risk, I don't think. If we go this way, we have to contend with the pit again. But there's also a sleeping dragonling here. He's a deeply slumbering dragon. He's very asleep. We could try to sneak past him with our... based on our dexterity, our odds are. So we'd have a 31% chance to sneak past him successfully because he's so deeply asleep. If we fail, he wakes up and we're facing a dragon. Neither of those thoughts is appealing. But we might do the dragon route in a minute. You know what? Sorry, Limus. I'm just gonna piss you off for a while. There we go. Let's grab this. Let's wait till he's off it in case it does. Oh, fuck, here comes somebody else. Let's grab this one instead. Uncooked fish. We saw that cooking fire earlier. Couldn't cook because we didn't have any meat. Well, we got meat now. If we can find a cooking fire, we can cook this and eat it. We'll talk about that if it happens. Jesus, a lot of stench. A lot of nausea. We have a cage here. Inside the cage is a stun jelly. It's unable to get out of the cage. It must be very, very tight bars because it is, of course, some sort of oozing gelatinous thing. You can see it's a level 8 monster. We probably don't want to face it. If you look at our combat odds, it's quite bad. It could paralyze us when it hits us. Paralyzation is not as bad in Caverns as it is in, say, Angband or Moria. All paralyzation means in this game is you can't leave your square. You can still fight, you can still cast spells, you can do everything. Your feet are just basically glued to the ground. You're unable to move, short of using magic. So he could be quite dangerous. To get him out of there, we'd have to find a lever on a map. There's a lever somewhere that we pull it will open that. Levers can be very dangerous to play with because you don't know what they do necessarily. They might operate a cage like this and release a very powerful monster. Or they might raise a drawbridge or portcullis or something. Here's our first prayer, and it coincidentally is a prayer to our goddess. You see it's a prayer of Caprice. That's one of our miracles right here. Caprice. So if we use this prayer, it won't cost us any faith. Our chance of it working is based on our relationship with her. 59% in this case. Might as well save it and use it in a minute. If we successfully use it, it'll also please her. She likes it when you pray to her. Here's another shrine, a Vian shrine in this case. If we hadn't found the cleric, we might be using this. Because the Vian shrine, if you pray at, will give you back a lot of health and get rid of all your diseases if it's successful. It will, of course, make her mad. She's a good god, Sense in V. But we'd probably do it if we hadn't already got rid of that disease. But we got rid of the disease, so let's not do that right now. I mentioned before you can find stuff in the middle of forests and stuff. Sometimes you find fruit-bearing trees like this, a lush plant. It's a bit dangerous to pick this plant. As you can see, if we go and pick the fruit, there's a 90% chance we find some fruit that'll help us out. But there's a chance, that the remaining 10% chance, it's a plant-type monster. And I don't think those are level appropriate. I could look and see. Maybe they are. I'm going to do it anyway. Screw it. The reason I was nervous about it is because, of course, right now when we pick this, we are surrounded by foliage, right? Dense foliage there, dense foliage there. Every time we try to leave to go this way, we'd only have a 15% chance of success. So if this had turned out to be some powerful monster, we'd be stuck with it while we tried to hack our way out of here. My initial thought was we'd just blink out, but we can't. We don't have enough spell points, so out of luck there. I hear a monster nearby, and I can't tell where it is. Must be on the other side of... Oh, here we go. I didn't even see that door. Another wereleech. Yeah, I know it's going to piss her off. Shit. And we got Lycanthropy, guys. I'll show you what that's about in a minute. It's definitely killing now. Alright, let's take a look at... Oh! Did we not catch Lycanthropy? Did we avoid it? Doesn't seem like we caught it. I didn't read the text. I just heard the noise of the disease and thought, oh shit, we caught Lycanthropy. It is possible that there's an error. He's a brand new monster. This is the first time I've ever faced a wereleech. While you're watching right now, it's the first time I've ever fought them because they're brand new to the game. It's possible that it caused the disease and the disease doesn't work yet from them. I will look at it after this playthrough and we'll see if we can figure that out. I'll watch the playback first. We also do have disease resistance, of course. So it is possible, that he caused the disease and we resisted it. I'm not sure it would have played that that sound effect. I'm not sure. I'll watch the text when it plays back. Maybe there was no error there. Maybe there was. Let's cook our fish right now. I'll show you the cooking fire itself. The reason you want to cook when you see a cooking fire right away, fires burn out. It's not like a set time limit. Every turn there's a 1 in 900 chance it just burns out. Let's cook the fish. Now, as you can see, we cooked it. It's just charred fish. Not very appetizing. The higher your cooking skill, the better you cook stuff. And when you eat stuff, you don't need to eat stuff like in some games. It's not like you need food to survive. You're assumed to be... You have rations, let's say, that just do nothing for you but keep you alive. This is extra nutrition that will really help you. Let's assume you came into the dungeon very malnourished. So in this case, when we eat the charred fish... Here, we permanently gained 1 intelligence point. You can get things up to... The highest level of cooking is... you can get things to well-prepared, I think. If we'd eaten well-prepared fish, it would have permanently given us 5 intelligence. So cooking can be a great skill to learn, but of course it's contingent on you finding meat and on finding cooking fires. Without it, you're just pumping skills into a skill point that won't help you. If you can get one of those things to happen, though, then yeah, if you find a lot of meat and a lot of cooking fires, you can make a really powerful character with cooking skill. Here we have a Drin Shrine, another shrine to another goddess. This goddess is neutral. Alumis won't mind if we pray. We're probably not going to anyway. Maybe we will. Probably not. If we successfully pray to her, for 120 turns we'll see out to 11 squares instead of 5 squares away, and we'll also have ESP for 120 turns. I may up that. It feels a little cheap. It feels like it should be 360 or something. If we fail, our spell points remaining will get cut in half, and our map will be erased. We'll have to re-explore to find where things are. Not going up there because of the poison gas. Another unknown potion. We don't need the cleric now, as it turns out. I thought we would because of the lycanthropy, but we don't. I'm going to start putting money in the temple because we may or may not go to that dragon. And even if we do, we may have to get out of here fast. We may not have time to grab all the gold. Let's press Control G to go to the nearest gold. Hit Enter. And press Control T to go to the temple. There you go. A keyboard shortcut for you. Alright, we're going to leap this. I'm actually going to wait. This is a cooking fire that burned out. Here you go. There was a giant centipede here. It probably got into smoke and died of smoke inhalation. Here, 40 turns. Actually, no, wait. Okay. We also see here, this lasts 32 turns. If you don't want to wait manually for 32 turns, you can just pass time until you're. This space is reserved for bad icons like debuffs. Debuffs will stack up here. Buffs will stack up here. If you ever have any debuff, you can right-click the debuff. And I can right-click the symbol right now, and it would wait however many turns are needed to get rid of that debuff. I can also just press backspace by default, and it'll wait until the very next debuff is done. So I'm just going to press backspace. There you go. We're no longer sated. Those turns passed. The reason I wanted to do that, I'm going to eat the dragon fruit. It gave us back enough spell points that we can now cast Blink. So if worse comes to worse, and we're stuck over here behind a dragon or something, we can blink away. We can even try and blink past it now, but we've only got one shot at blinking. This guy, if we wake him up, and we might, we probably will. What, 69% chance we wake him up? Right? Yeah. He can do some serious damage to us. I don't think he'll kill us outright. We snuck past him. Sleeping dragon, you tiptoe past. Alright. So now when it comes time, we can try to blink back to the other side. A lot of dead bodies here. These are hot coals. Burn us if we walk in it. What's this? Another dead body. We got papers. Sometimes when you see a lot of dead bodies in an area, it can be an indication that you're in a trap area. It can be sometimes when it makes a trap area, it puts dead bodies as warning. Other adventurers who ignored the warning died in the traps. It could also just be a place where they stockpile bodies. It's hard to say. Let's start picking up papers and see what happens. Alright, a light healing spellbook. Do we need that? Normally I'd be all over this, guys. It's you cast it for 20 spell points and it heals 3 to 6 health. But we already have Water of Life. Admittedly a little more costly, but in general this will heal like 3 to 18 across the 3 turns. I probably won't learn light healing therefore. I don't want to waste a spell slot on it. Grab this gold for sure. One of the things that sucks is we might find gold on these bodies. And we gotta get past that dragon again if we want to come back and get them. I'm not going to pick up any more bodies right now. Alright, we found a note. You found a note claiming there are no cave-ins, no pit traps, or booby traps on this map. That's great. If you find a note, it is accurate, guys. You can believe it. So we know for sure there are no cave-ins, pit traps, or booby traps on this map. At least not any remaining. If you've already sprung a booby trap and you found that note, it'll still say there's no booby traps because I guess the note was written after you sprung it. They saw you spring it and they wrote the note. Alright, there's nothing down here. We might as well start searching bodies. We're not going to be coming back this way. Evil Act. We found Dragon Tears and 21 gold pieces and a Gust of Wind spellbook, and we got Lycanthropy. As I told you before, you can catch a disease from these guys. It's okay, though. We have enough gold. We can go pour on the charm and get that healed from the cleric very cheaply. In this case, we do have Lycanthropy. Let's talk about it. Lycanthropy. Lycanthropy is a disease, usually contracted from were-rats, werewolves, or other werebeasts. As long as you have it, your attributes will randomize up or down every time you enter a new map. So when we go to the next map, if we still have Lycanthropy, our strength may get higher or may get lower. Our dexterity may get higher or may get lower by like 1 to 10 or something. If any of your attributes, including your health, reach 0, you are dead. In this case, you would turn into a werebeast and lose the game that way. On top of that, just by entering a new map, every time you enter and you have Lycanthropy, 10% chance you turn into a werebeast permanently, and now you serve Xaskazien and the game's over. So you try not to leave a map when you have Lycanthropy, unless you really want to gamble and hope you get some good stats out of it. Unfortunately, we can't find no more gold. If he has more gold, we're not going to get anything out of it. Nothing. Found a rare book. Let's grab that in a second. And a throwing knife. And a recuperate spellbook. Okay, let's look at all this stuff. Let's drop the light healing. We're not going to use it. Let's lock the wall fire. We're not going to use it. Dragon Tears we found. So this is a magic item. A low power magic item. We don't have magic item use skill. That is a general skill. We'll probably learn that next so we can use this. So we can't use it right now. But if we could, all we got to do is left click it or activate it. You know, we could also use the keyboard, of course, to highlight it and then hit enter. If we're in an unoccupied square at the time, if there's no monster in our square, the Dragon Tears will heal us as if it cast light healing. We'll get 3 to 6 health back. If there is a monster in our square, we cast basically flaming darts at them, and it does 3 to 6 fire damage with a 5% chance of creating a small flame in our square. So pretty useful, pretty versatile, healing or offensive. Let's definitely get the... let's learn the Gust of Wind spell. Low power Aeromancy, 5 spell points. This spell transforms any gas in all squares up to 3 squares distant into empty space. So we can cast this, clear out the smoke near us if we want to. We can clear out the poison gas and try to get past it. It will not seal a fissure. That poison gas we saw fluctuating up north is being spewed from a vent of some sort. It won't seal the vent. So it would get rid of all the gas, but the gas would slowly start coming back in again. So you'd have to be quick about what you're going to do. Nonetheless, let's learn it. Let's equip the throwing knife. We can see here it does 1 to 4 damage, and it is distance strike. So it's like our pebble was, except better. It does 1 to 4 instead of 1 to 3. It's also not improvised, so it can have up to 100% condition, and we can repair it. Let's get rid of the pebble. Get rid of the cloth arm wrapping. We can't fix these. Alright, let's pick up the Recuperate spell book. We'll learn that. Recuperate. 15 spell points. Gets rid of any temporary negative effects, any debuffs. As soon as you cast it, all of your debuffs instantly disappear. Pretty freaking useful and versatile spell. What else was here? Let's get the rare book. This is our first trinket. You can see it's brown. That's because it... Remember, brown means either it's having its effect or it has no effect. The rare book has no effect, but we can sell it. If we meet a smuggler, we can sell it, and it's worth 160 gold pieces. This is also the first item we found, guys, that takes up 2 inventory slots. You can see here, size, small, 1, small, 1, small, 1. Small 1 means it takes up 1 inventory slot. Average size, 2 inventory slots, takes up 2 inventory slots. So 16 and 17 are both devoted to the rare book there. That might be it for here, eh? There's nothing else here. Is there another body up here I missed? Yeah, there is. Let's go up here. Let's go ahead and Gust of Wind. What the fuck? I feel like waiting for the smoke. Found 35 gold pieces worth of gems. Now remember, we can carry gems. They're not the same as gold. They're separate. And we also found canvas trousers. Those are like our woolen trousers, but not as good. We'll carry them for now in case the woolen trousers get broken. And we have this guy. We can't Gust of Wind this away. He permanently generates that. The Rotting Corpse. We're nauseous. The reason I mentioned that, yeah, these guys were not rotting. They're just corpses. He's rotting. He's giving off a stench. Treats it as a stench cloud. Found a candle and a Wand of Intuition. Let's keep the wand for sure. We'll carry the candle for now. Alright, we found nothing. We do have to wait now, guys. We're going to blink past this guy, and we got to wait until the Nausea's gone. So I'm going to, this time, right-click the Nausea. No longer sated, because that happened before the Nausea was done. And no longer nauseous. Okay. Let's cast Blink, and hopefully we're on the other side of this dragon. Yep. Okay. Let's go deposit. No, not deposit our gold. Yeesh. We need that gold to get rid of the Lycanthropy. Let's take Restoration. And what the hell, healing for 4 gold. I didn't even pour on the charm. I forgot to. It was a waste. We had that ability and I didn't use it. We could have got that cheaper. Oh well, I remembered it at the last second. Whatever remaining gold we have, let's try and put it in the temple. And let's get out of here. Only way off this map is these stairs. Let's go that way. Alright, so we mentioned bad shit starts happening if you wait past the warning. We just got our first bad shit. Xaskazien's hatred. Xaskazien's unnatural presence in every world leaks into those dimensions 2 persistent things: unbridled magic and unmatched hatred. On rare occasions, these 2 qualities congeal into a foul energy, lashing out in stupid magical rage at anyone who ventures near. And you can feel the hatred rising around you now. Zones of hatred will continue to appear as long as you remain on this map. So, as long as we're here, these zones of hatred are going to keep appearing. They're invisible. We can't see them until we step in them, and then they're revealed and they do magic damage to us. But I want to point out one other thing. So we're here. Let's press tab to go back to where we were at. Here we go. So that gave us the anecdotal information about the event. We saw that. But if you want to know what an event really does, there is the event tab. You can click here or you can press E. Let's do that. We can see a few things on this turn. Here's the turns we spent on this map, this page. I'm sorry, guys. It's early morning. My brain is really moving slowly. Um, yeah, we've been on this map for 943 turns. You can see the linger warning. Because it's already gone off, it tells us here, it reminds us, hey, get the hell off this map. But if you want to know about Xaskazien's hatred, there you go. Each turn after this event occurred, there's a 1 in 30 chance that a non-wall, non-stairs, non-temple square is turned into a secret zone of hatred, which will reveal itself and cause magic damage when entered. So that's what that does. Let's get out of here fast. I do hear another monster. There's another bad event. Fuming. You ever wonder how fumaroles are formed? When the heat and pressure beneath the ground grow too great, the floor erupts in an unstable burst of steam. God, I'm having trouble speaking. It's like I'm having a freaking stroke right in front of you. And the pressure beneath the ground around here, it's building. Everywhere. Active fumaroles will continue to appear as long as you remain on this level. Another reason to get the hell out of here. I do hear a monster down here. It's probably past this, but we're not going past that, so screw it. Let's get out of here. Now, do note, every time you go down, not if you go sideways to a level at the same level, a map at the same level, not if you go up to a map at an earlier level. If you go down, it pleases every single god in the game by 1%, because they all want you to kill Xaskazien. And on top of that, it gives you a bit of faith, like 20 faith. There you go. You got 12 faith. 20 modified by your relationship. We don't want to kill it. We don't want to piss her off further. It's a giant mosquito. Let me check the time, guys. I can't really see the time. Let me see how long we've been recording here. I can't tell because... There we go. 36 minutes. I'm going to call it here. I'll record another one today probably. But I'm going to call it here. My throat is really raw. I got to get some coffee. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit, but it probably means tomorrow on your time. Bye. How do I do this? Q. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Q. Yes. Bye.